Hi, Teresa. I know it's been a while since we've done book Babble videos, but this week I figured that would be the best way to share about spring break. So, I was recently on spring break and I had a large to-do list when I went home from school to Colorado. One of the most important things on that to-do list was to bring my computer into the Apple Store and have it fixed. This was kind of an ordeal. Good news is my computer is back and we're up and running and everything is fixed, so we're good. The part of it that was an ordeal was the fact that it took about a week to actually diagnose what was going on with my computer, and then we had to send it out because I was coming back to school. But now they've shipped it back to me and it's all working, and I'm very happy to have my computer back. And what's interesting to me about this whole experience is just exactly how dependent I have become for work, for school, for entertainment, for mental health, for much of my life. I am extremely dependent on this machine. And I didn't realize exactly how dependent I was on my computer until it was taken away from me. And I didn't realize exactly how dependent I was on the ability to watch movies and TV online, to unplug from the world by plugging in to my computer. And it was a strange experience to have that ripped from me like that. And I mean, it's a good learning experience because it proved to me that I can function for about 4 days at least without my computer. And I did that in a somewhat stressful time of my life because there were hospital visits and tourist things and shopping for bridesmaid dresses, and it was kind of a stressful week for a break, but I was able to do that and survive without my computer during that time, which for me is kind of a big thing because my computer is one of my major coping mechanisms when it comes to stress. I I like to unplug from the world and not have to pay attention to real life emotions and real life things by being able to plug into fictional emotions and fictional things, which I think is in many ways a healthy way of coping, when in moderation, which, like any coping mechanism, moderation is super important. But to have all of that completely removed, to be dependent on other people's technology in order to have the ability to get to the things that I use to cope. And I had my phone, but I have an old phone. I have a total of 8 gigabytes of storage on this phone, which means that I can't have Google Docs, I don't have space for Netflix, and my ability to access online fictional things was limited to the edits that other creators had made on YouTube. So, thank you for doing that, people. And Teresa, I know you like to make those edits for your TV shows, and I can tell you that it's a very appreciated thing that you're doing as you make those things. I'm gonna put at the end of this video the playlist of supernatural edits that I was watching because I needed the space and I needed the time, and those were the quickest way that I could dive into fandom without actually having to watch an entire episode when I didn't have access to an ability to watch something without being an inconvenience to someone else. It was a strange time. So I watched a lot of supernatural edits, and thank you to those people who make those. I really appreciate that. And this brings me to the next topic. The ending of one of the fandoms that I only sort of recent. I feel like I'm a recent person into this fandom, but I also feel like it's had a major impact on me, and I just want to say thank you to the actors. Assuming they ever watch this video, I want to say thank you to them for doing what they did for 15 years. That's like most of my life. That's the part of my life that I can remember. And the fact that they've been doing the same job, filming the same show, playing the same characters for that long, it's ridiculous. I understand why they're stopping. I will miss the show. Although, I did the math, and at the end of season 15, you will be able to watch one episode of Supernatural a day and get through almost a complete year. There's going to be at least a total of 330 episodes. And if you do what I do, where you go through phases, you will be able to watch all of Supernatural in a year at a reasonable rate, like a normal person rate, and not have to rewatch a single episode in a year, as long as you're also filtering in other shows like Doctor Who or Sherlock, or I personally love Arrow, or other TV shows and movies like Nikita and Chuck and Leverage and White Collar and oh my goodness, all of these shows that I love so much. But this brings me to my next question of what on earth am I going to do without Supernatural? It's been a constant for the last 14 years. It's just existed. It's been this thing that I could always go to, and it's granted I didn't get into it until like high school, so I've only been part of it since season 10, but I watched all of seasons 1 through 9 in like a year. And then I just have stayed with it for the past 4 years. So to have it end is something interesting to me. I haven't been part of a show that's been running and ending, and in the next year, 2 of my favorite shows will be running and ending, and that's going to be a little hard. So I'm looking for new show suggestions. If you have any, put them down in the comments, because I'm going to need something to watch, and I really love crime shows and suspenseful shows and things like thrillers and spy shows. So if you have a favorite, let me know. I want to know. Anyway, so this week has been interesting. I had to unplug. I had to figure out how to function in my writing life and in my entertaining life with my phone. And then when I got back to school, a Bluetooth keyboard. That was what I had at my disposal, other than using my mom's iPad for a little bit of the time when I was home for spring break. And it was interesting to unplug. I finished 2 books because my time wasn't going elsewhere and I was on a plane for 4 hours in the last week. But yeah, so that's kind of an update on me and my life and what I've been doing and how spring break was. And it was good. Spring break was really good. But it was also hard because I didn't have what I normally do to relax. And I'm going to think about that for a while. I'm going to think about what it meant to unplug and not be so attached at the hip or my ears, as you could say, because of earphones. Anyone else? Anyone else just go like this all the time and be actually plugged in to a computer? Yeah, it's kind of a strange concept. It's so easy to ignore the world when you're wearing these. But maybe we shouldn't. Maybe instead of ignoring the world, we should try to unplug a little bit. Pay attention to the birds and fish in ponds and beautiful landscapes, and go to coffee shops and watch people being people. Anyway, I will see you in person in a few months, Teresa. I love you. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye. If you like these videos, like and subscribe, and make sure to share them with your friends. If you want to contribute to a discussion on what it means to unplug from technology for a time, put that down below, and I'd like to talk with you about that. Also, check out my website. I just posted my first book review on my website. I've written others before, but figured I would start reviewing them on my website and start a collection of suspense novels for you. So, Mike Nappa's Annabel Lee was reviewed on my website. There's a link down below.